Hey, what's up everyone? Kevin here. In this video, I want to share with you how to do a powder bash on your snowboard. Powder bashing is one of the most fun things that I like to do on a powder day. Riding in with some speed, getting that big cloud of snow up into the air, and then riding through. There's not too many other feelings like that, and it's really addictive once you get a few good ones under your belt. So in this video, I'll share with you step by step how you can do a successful powder bash yourself. So the very first thing with the pow bash is looking ahead and finding that perfect patch of snow. What I look for is a big open patch of snow, someplace that's untouched and that I can ride up to cleanly and then do the pow bash, and also a place where after I do it, it's very clear to ride out as well. Because you're gonna be temporarily blinded for a few seconds after you put up that snow, find that perfect patch of powder that's untouched that you can ride into and that has a ride out that's clear. The second thing is to ride into it with a decent amount of speed. So basically, the more speed you ride into the pow bash with, the bigger the spray of snow. So when I'm planning my speed, I'm typically planning the speed for the conditions that day. If the snow conditions are really good, I'm riding in with as much speed as possible. But if the snow conditions are a little bit iffy, or if the patch isn't perfect, I may be a bit more conservative. Gauge the speed for yourself, but basically the more speed you ride in with, the bigger a cloud of snow you'll spray up. The next step is to do a small ollie and get some air right before the powder bash. So by getting a bit of air, it's gonna allow you to get your board sideways. It's also gonna give you that angle so that doing the pow bash coming down from above is gonna help you to spray even more snow. And by getting a bit of air, it's gonna allow you to turn your snowboard sideways to really spray as much snow up into the air as possible. So when I'm riding in, I'm timing my ollie so that I do the ollie just a few feet before the perfect place to get the pow bash. And then this way, I'm doing it into the cleanest spot and setting myself up for the biggest spray of snow. The fourth step is to turn your snowboard completely sideways once you're in the air. This can be built up in stages. You can start off just turning your snowboard slightly and then doing it more and more as you feel comfortable. But to get the biggest spray of snow, you really need to turn your snowboard completely sideways in the air, landing with your snowboard sideways, and that's just gonna spray up the biggest cloud of snow. This can be a bit tricky too because you only want your board to be sideways for a second, so make sure that you're comfortable with your snowboard sideways and ready to turn it straight again. So the final step is to get your board back straight and then do a few turns through that cloud of snow that you create. This is a bit tricky because you're gonna be blind for a few seconds, but what I like to do is actually plan out my turns ahead of time. I'll look at the area that I'm gonna be riding through and then plan to either go straight through the cloud or to make a turn to the left or right, depending on what the terrain is after I put up that powder bash. By making a plan ahead of time and really spotting where you're going through, it just takes away any of the risk of possibly running into something or somebody else. Take the time, make the plan, and it'll just make the powder bash that much safer and give you more confidence to ride through. I have 3 favorite powder bashes I've done over the last couple of years. One I did a few years ago on a Whistler heli trip, and it was just the perfect conditions, untouched snow, riding in with lots of speed. That one was super fun. The second was at Mount Baker, where I definitely had the deepest snow I've ever had the chance to do one in. And the third one was in Hintertux, Austria, where we had a surprise pow day. All 3 of these were super fun, but for my favorite one, I gotta go for the Whistler heli trip. Just such a special day, first time ever doing a heli trip. That one's gotta be my number 1. If you guys have any questions about doing pow bashes, let me know down in the comments. I'll also put links to all my pow gear down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Have fun out there trying this out, and I'll see you in the next video.